Alright guys, new leaks for the April pack. Are you ready? And it is like I predicted, it is like I hoped, and I think like a lot of you hoped. We know the first archetype that will come to Master Duel in the April pack on 10th of April. A new archetype that will also support an existing deck that we already have in the game. So without further ado, what is it? It is obviously, bam, Primite. Primite is coming in its full power version, that is. So this was very important. We will go over the cards in a second. This is most important for Blue Eyes, but will also be important for some decks in the future. This is supporting normal monsters, which is quite nice. I have recently played in tournaments in the TCG against people playing like Summon Skull and old cards like this. It is totally crazy what this engine can support. The three main cards that we need for the Blue Eyes variant is Primite Lode, Primite Drillbeam, and the Primite Dragon Ether Beryl, where we were hoping that we will get the Ether Beryl, because without the Ether Beryl, he is from the second support wave, we can't really make it work. And with this combination of cards, this is one of the top decks in the OCG as well as in the TCG, was at some point the top deck in the OCG and is still one of the best decks. The second most played in the latest OCG overview we have looked at yesterday. You can check out the video in the top right corner. By the way, if you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell. This would help me out a lot. Thank you in advance. So we will take a look at all of these cards, but as I already said, the most important ones being these three here. You need 3 Lordly Lodes, 1 Drillbeam. You can play more than 1 Drillbeam, I guess, but you don't need to. And then 3 Dragon Ether Beryl. I will explain to you what this does in Blue Eyes in a second. Will Blue Eyes be top tier now? Honestly, probably, and especially top tier when we finally get the hits on Snake Eyes, probably at the end of the month, question mark. So what is going on? We have Primite Lode, which is the continuous spell that says normal monsters and permanent monsters you control gain 300 attack for each normal monster in your graveyard with different names. This can definitely be nice, and then we can only use each of the following once per turn. When this card is activated, we can add 1 Primite card from the deck to our hand, except Lordly Lode will mostly be either the Drillbeam or the Dragon Ether Beryl here. Then we have, you can declare 1 normal monster's name, special summon 1 normal monster with that name from your hand, deck or graveyard. Also, you cannot activate special summon monsters effects for the rest of this turn. So this is obviously super nice in Blue Eyes, since we have another way, same as with the True Light, to summon Blue Eyes. This is so cool. We just have to keep in mind that we cannot activate the effect of special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, but this gives us access to our Blue Eyes, not the entire Blue Eyes engine unfortunately, but to the Blue Eyes itself. And this gives us a really easy option if we start with Primite Dragon Ether Beryl to go into a Seals and have this negation online that we will read over in a second here. So triple Lordly Lode that we can use to summon Blue Eyes from anywhere. Super strong. Then we have Primite Drillbeam, the card that we want to search with either the Lordly Lode or the Ether Beryl. It's a quick play spell. Reveal 1 Primite card or 1 normal monster in your hand, except Drillbeam. Or if we control a normal monster or a level 5 or higher Primite monster, except a token, we can also activate this effect without revealing. So we either need a Primite card or a normal monster in the hand, or basically a Blue Eyes on the field if we want to talk about the Blue Eyes deck specifically. Then we can target a face-up card on the field for cost, negate its effects, and if you do, we banish it. And here comes the craziest part about this card. During your main phase, if you control a Primite monster, you can set this card from your graveyard. It doesn't say, and this is normally the case with cards and effects like this, does not say that it will get banished once we use it then again. So you can recycle this every turn. And the cool thing is that we will have a Primate monster live every turn because of Primite Dragon Ether Beryl. And this is why this trilogy of cards is so important. They go together so great, because the Primite Dragon Ether Beryl is a level 4 dragon, which firstly means that we can use him for our Link 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Very important. It says, if this card is normal summoned, only normal summoned, you can set 1 Primite spell from your deck. So we either set the Lordly Lode, activate the Lordly Lode to add to our hand our Drillbeam, or if we have started with the Lordly Lode, adding to our hand our Ether Beryl, then we will set the Drillbeam. So starting with either Lordly Lode or Ether Beryl will get us into all of these 3 here, but in one case, which is the better one honestly, and the best case is that we start with the Ether Beryl, set the Lordly Lode and add the Drillbeam to hand, because then on our first turn we have the Drillbeam live. The other way around, if we would need to start with the Ether Beryl, then we would need, no, the other way around, start with the Lordly Lode, then we would need to add to the hand the Ether Beryl, and Ether Beryl will need to set the Drillbeam. So in this case we have it set on the field so it cannot interrupt for example, an infinite impermanence. So the better way around is starting with the ether beryl and not starting with the lordly lode, but doesn't really make a big difference. And then it says you can tribute this card for cost, send one normal monster from your deck to the graveyard. This is nice and can come up. And this is the important one. During your standby phase, if you have a normal monster in your field or your graveyard, you can add this card from the graveyard to your hand. So each turn you will get this back when you have a blue eyes on field or in the graveyard, which you basically always have, which means you can normal summon this guy, which has 1900 attack due to the Primite Lordly Lord, the boost here basically. And then you can reset the drill beam because you control a Primite monster, the ether beryl, right? And you can do this every turn. You get this back every turn as long as you have blue eyes on field or in graveyard. And every turn you can reset the drill beam. Once again, obviously can't use it on that turn because you have just set it, which is why a lot of people opted to play more than one. But this you can do every single turn. And this is how you outgrind your opponent, in addition to the grind game that you already have through your True Light and all of the blue eye stuff. This is just insane. A very good play that you can make is go Primate Dragon Ether Beryl, go for this line here, set Lordly Lord, get the drill beam to the hand, which another cool thing about the drill beam actually is if you get it to the hand, then you can use it as a discard for wishes for Eyes of Blue, and you have it in the graveyard then, and if you still have your ether barrel on the field, you can just set it, making this a free discard. Very good. But you can go and make Lordly Lord, drill beam, and ether barrel, and then you can use your Lordly Lord to summon a blue eyes, and the blue eyes and the ether barrel can make seals. And then you have this interruption because seals can obviously summon another blue eyes on your next turn. Makes Magna Mood, by the way, more important because Magna Mood in the end phase could search your Primate Dragon Ether Barrel now, so it is very important to use Magna Mood and the seals because both of them can connect these two engines together. So very, very strong, gives this an insane grind game, and this interruption is just super strong, also banishing, and you can reset it every turn. So this is the most important stuff about the Primate engine, but we also have more cards. We also have the Primite Roar, which says pay 2000 life points, then declare quick play spell. One normal monster card name. That declared monster or normal monster and Primate monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of your opponent's turn. Then if you control no monsters, you can special summon one declared normal monster from your deck in defense position. And if your opponent normal summons a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one normal monster you control, or in your graveyard, banish one monster from the field with less attack than that monster. You can also use this card. It's not a bad card. Obviously, you can banish a lot of things because Blue Eyes has a lot of attack. This can also summon your Blue Eyes, but this is not part of the triple package that we definitely want to play, and these are the best cards. But you can also go for a Roar. Some people are playing one Roar, but it's rarely the case. Then we have the counter trap for this archetype. When your opponent active or would normal summon or special summon a monster while you control a normal monster or a level 5 or higher Primate monster, accept a token, negate the summon, and if you do, banish that monster. Then during your standby phase, if you control a Primate monster, you can set this card from your graveyard, but this time around banish it when it leaves the field. So in comparison to a Solemn Judgment where you need to pay, you can reset this once again, so use it twice, but you have to control a normal monster or a level 5 or higher Primate monster, which the Primate Imperial Dragon is the only one level 5 or higher, but we won't play him. So in this case, you would need to control a Blue Eyes. You can play this card, it can reset it for free, which is nice, but it's not part of the package, but you can, obviously. Then we have the Primate Imperial Dragon, cannot be normal summoned, set or accept by tributing one normal monster, but can be normal set. So you can set it basically for tribute with an effect monster. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can reveal this card in your hand. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one Primate monster, and you can only use the effect of Imperial Dragon once per turn. If this card is tribute summoned, you can apply these effects in sequence, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, and banish all monsters your opponent controls with the same type or attribute as a normal monster in your graveyard. So light for in the case of Blue Eyes, but as you can already see, this card is a bit clunky. You won't really play it. You could, but it's not that great. In the future with the new Primate support, if you have not seen that video, go check out the 40 cards plus leaked video on my channel. It is from Saturday, I think. Go check that out. This might become better, but for now it's not the greatest. And then we have Primite Howl, which honestly I've never read. This is the only card I've never read. Declare one normal monster card name for cost. You take no battle damage from battles involving your declared normal monster or your Primate monsters for the rest of this turn. Then if you control no monsters, you can special summon one declared normal monster from your deck or graveyard. So as the other cards can also do, the Roar and the Lord Reload. This can summon a Blue Eyes, for example. I'm always talking Blue Eyes, but you can obviously also play this in other decks. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one normal monster you control, or in your graveyard, take control of one monster your opponent controls with higher attack than that monster. So this is basically like the Roar, but honestly a bit worse, since this is a trap and this is a quick play spell, obviously. So I would say if you want to play one of these, you would go for the Roar. But as I already said, the most important ones being triple Ether Beryl to get your Lord Reload or your Drill Beam, depending on what you have started with, and then triple Lord Reload with at least one Drill Beam. So what you want to open in an optimal world is access to your Primite engine and then access to your Blue Eyes engine to get really strong field, and then grind out your opponent, slow down your opponent. This will be very nice, especially because we also have the new Dominus Trap, which is great in Blue Eyes. Can also, by the way, negate Maxi and Fuvalos. So really strong. Good times ahead for the Blue Eyes players, and I'm definitely hyped. We will definitely stream a lot this month playing Blue Eyes Primite. I love the deck. I also have the Primite stuff in TCG in my binder, basically. I bought it, and yeah, big fan here. But now I'm very interested in your opinion. What do you think of this league? Are you excited? Are you playing Blue Eyes? What is your opinion on this? Let me know. Thanks for being here, and obviously we will see each other in the next one.